Hello guys, welcome to Total War Shogun 2. Today is actually a very special battle. Start of a new, let's say, duo of battles, and by duo, I mean duo. Let's take a look. So on one side, we have two armies. Oda is Dr. Dave, and Demalicus is playing the Usagi. Very interesting choice for Dema. We look over to the other side. There's a split of armies over here. The Takeda, this is Tea Master, and me as the Chosokabe. Now we can see some really weird shit off the bat, and it's going to get even weirder, but let's take a look at what everybody has, because this is a really... It's a hell of a battle. Alright, so let's take a look at Dema. Now, Dema, he hasn't really set up like a line or a formation. This is kind of more just like a blob. He's got a bunch of Usagi marathon monks with a mixture like matchlocks behind them. Usagi Kenshin, the general, just stuck in the middle. Behind them, what do we have? Oh god, more marathon monks and bow samurai behind them. Katana Cav off on the sides. A little bit of a formation, but really more of a blob. Over on Dave's side, from what we can see, take into account they're both kind of near some trees, especially Dave, so we might not see everything. We got some bow warrior monks lined up behind some Odalong Yari Ashigaru, Yari Cav in the rear, and the general. It's a lot of Yari Cav, huh? Take a look over on our side, and things get a bit more complicated. We got the Takeda light cavalry and fire cav. Two formations of this setup, light cav to support the fire cav. And now over here we have Naginata samurai lined up. The general, more Naginata samurai, and bow samurai, kind of in more of a blob, and I'll tell you why. So if you look over at my side, things get a bit trickier here. I got a Naginata samurai-like formation going in this weird shape, kind of like when I teamed up with Dema, although it's just of my units. Backed up by Chosokabe bow warrior monks for that extra range, and a bow hero right here for the extra range and accuracy. General right here with some katana samurai hidden with some fire rockets and great guard in the trees. But let's hit start and just let's get things going. So right from the get-go, me and T have actually planned to... So unlike most Total War games that are new, you can't make a formation with your friend in this one in field battles. We had to pick half and half of where we spawned. So basically the plan was to get him to fill in this formation once it started. The way me and Dema did it last time was we kind of linked up each side of where we started, and that's why it was split half and half. Here, I made the full formation, and he's coming to fill in the rear with this. But he's only filling in the formation. I'm the one actually holding it. He has these cavalry groups and other things he's going to be focusing on. At this point, we kind of noticed, you know, they're really split up. Dave's all the way over here. Dema's all the way over here. If we can kill one of them before they get to us, that's going to be our best choice here. That's going to be our best tactic. So that's what our goal is in this fight. As you see, he's filling it in, making kind of like a star shape almost, or like two triangles connected, which I immediately started yelling at him for, because what I wanted him to do was line up here to make like an arrowhead, not a star, because a star kind of wastes units. An arrowhead would take less units to maintain. He's over here putting his general near mine. We're leaving them right in the center of the formation, very defensible place. All these units of mine that are hidden in the trees, they don't even know are here yet. So they don't know I have these katana samurai. They don't know I have these great guard. And they don't know I have these fire rockets. But they know about pretty much everything else except these cav. And one thing we noted is Dema's troops are heading right for these cav. So that was a little bit of a situation since these cav are all by themselves. On the other side, we've really kind of just formed up right in front of Dave, who is definitely moving forward. Kind of setting up a formation more to try to figure out how to go about attacking this extremely complex defensive formation. I mean, look at this. He's lining up his bow samurai over here now as well behind, just kind of keeping the formation going. It's really fucking sick looking, honestly. I wish I could zoom out and get a better perspective of it. But yeah, he made this star, which I really hated, especially because it left this gap open. I think right here is when I might have told him, dude, you left a gap open. You might not want to do that. I've seen that lead to some pretty crazy deaths. Over here, too, I'm not liking these gaps. And I know at one point I quickly point this out to him. As we see Dema's army are just slowly marching forward, making and breaking formations. As he doesn't know these guys are here, he's just trying to figure out how to come at us. He's discussing things with Dave. Actually, at this point, they're actually really not getting along. They're not coordinating well. Apparently, they were having some arguments about how to go about this attack and when to attack and what to do. This is a field battle, so as you see, we're not on a timer. So everyone gets to take their time, but as you see, we've really kind of... Our mentality was to sit back, have a defensive formation as a distraction, and then poke out from it and use cavalry to harass down enemies with some epic skirmishing. Speaking of skirmishing, Dr. Dave is moving up a line of bow warrior monks, and, ooh, Great Guard, another cav, kind of ready to poke at us to get us out of this just terrifying defensive formation. Here we go. He got rid of the diamond, and he made more of an arrowhead. Perfect. This is what I wanted him to do. And it frees up some of his units, which is perfect. Over here, he charged all these cav out of the trees, which I told him he probably should, because Dema's entire army got really close here. And now what I'm saying is we have to go all in on Dr. Dave. We have to get Dr. Dave out of the race before Dema gets close, because Dema's taking his time, and if we can just curb stomp Dave, then there's nothing that can be done. So basically what I'm telling him to do at one point is, okay, we're going to need to really utilize your cav here. Your fucking stomp squads of light and fire cav. Takeda, because they're actually really advanced units. Maybe not as good as the Great Guard. The fire cav might be better than the Great Guard. I'm actually not sure. But, yeah. We're just at the moment figuring out how to go about getting past this, because he's got all these skirmishers up front, cav on either side, and the Odo Longyari information coming up behind, so it's going to be a tough nut to crack, but we're currently, at this point in the battle, scheming how to go about it. Whereas, we're on a time limit because Dema's army is taking steps forward. As I said, making and breaking formations every time he moves forward. See, that he reaches one formation, he steps up again, kind of like step by step. It's not the worst idea, but he was kind of outpaced by Dave. And here we go. The cav are on the move. At least these ones are. Group number 1, which means our plan is finalized, and the attack on Dave is beginning. As you see, I've actually broken the right half of the formation that was facing Dave, and I've sent all of my Naginata backed up by some bows charging forward, along with my fire rockets. One thing that he didn't even know we had. We're getting some charges in over here on his Great Guard. Ooh, taking some arrow shots, but breaking his cavalry off, backing off, good skirmishing, make him break off. As I'm charging forward, now the point of this charge is that the Naginata are supposed to essentially be a giant distraction for the cav to be able to like smash in and break down Dave's lines. I was hoping he would move at the formation. Once I saw he wasn't, I decided to move forward just the entire line in this glorious charge. I didn't intend for any of these units you're seeing to live. It was like, okay, I'll sacrifice all this and we'll get all this. That's the plan. The fire rockets are one thing I was hoping didn't die, though. I'm moving even more bow warrior monks now that I realize I have to commit to this, because now he's really blobbing up so that he can't get charged by the cav the way we were trying it. And now I'm sending my Naginata in to get the bow fire, because I need to get him focused on me and not the cav. And the Naginata samurai, they're good at taking arrows. This is what they're good at. But here we go. Fire rockets coming in to the blob, and look at it. Massive kills because he's blocked up so crazy. I aimed right for the center, and look at all the fucking kills. Look at all this death from the fire rockets. And now I'm not even wasting time. I'm charging the Naginata in, directly in, to the information Yari on all sides with the bow support. The fire rockets also supporting. And really the whole point of this is clash and quickly conquer. As we see, his cavalry have gotten behind. Look at the fire rockets hitting, guys. Look at this. This is insane. The cavalry have gotten behind, and now with my distraction in the front of Dave's lines, he's charging in. And here we go. Cavalry charging in here, and great, amazing charge between the Takedi light cav versus his great guard. Over here, they're flanking around even more, trying to find openings. He's trying to really cover everything. My immediate front charge has kind of died off already, but I still have a lot of skirmishers that are distracting his units. The fire rockets are still here, and he's got his cav over here. I'm starting to pull my great guard out as well to kind of help curb stomp this. His Takeda light cav have gotten into his skirmishers, and over here, these ones they're dying, but they got their target, supported by my Naginata samurai. Some of them live, some of them live. These ones are just wiping out. Look at this, just absolutely wiping out his skirmishers right here. And over here, look at this, just giant cavalry curb stomp on these two Katana samurai. These guys stand no chance against cav, especially not Takeda cav, especially not fire cav. And just like that, look at Dave's army. It's already starting to break. Over here, another unit of Yari cav, I believe, has broken. We're losing some of T's cav, but for what we're losing, we've taken out almost his entire army already in one quick assault, just like that. If you look over here, Dema has finally moved up into our lines. He's finally begun his attack. And here we have Naginata charging up in a column into my defensive Naginata. Oh, look at that. And the second battle begins. Look at all these arrows. Oh my god. That was so many kills. That's insane. Let's take a grander look of this. His entire army has finally reached, and it's clashing. So now we're kind of on two fronts here. But he's taking a lot of fire from skirmishers. Because he has so many warrior monks and marathon monks, they don't have armor. They're not ready to deal with skirmishers. Whereas my Naginata are ready to hold this front line. His matchlocks have pushed up here as well, which is unfortunate because they're really going to hurt. Let's take a look at Dave's army has really... So I'm going to slow it down here. Dave's army is really broken, as you can see. So what I decided to do around this point in the battle is I basically decided everything over here is pretty much dead, being these two Naginata samurai. I'm using them, I'm charging them in here to pretty much just distract these guys. They're running right into the information Long Yari to keep his entire rest of his army distracted. We pulled everything else off. All of my Great Guard, the Fire Rocketeer in a second, all these skirmishers, as you can see, and all of his cav have all pulled off. We canceled our attack on his army after crippling it and turned all attention to this giant horde of Usagi. Look at this. Look at my Naginata samurai just charging in against all of this. This is actually pretty nuts. Arrows flying in from all directions. Look at the fucking blood. Matchlocks firing in. The main goal was to now crush him as quickly as possible before Dave could regroup, while we could still outnumber him, because most of our units left over on Dave's side were very mobile units. They were cav. So as we see, I've just suicide charged my matchlocks in to the matchlock. I've charged my Naginata in to the matchlock samurai, and here they go, just impaling them, just trying to get them out of the picture. And then it crashed! Alright, we're back right about before it crashed, and as you see, these guys just charged into the matchlocks. And we're actually going to see something we missed before. Look at that amazing, like, cavalry line by T just crashing in on the flanks of the fucking enemy here. Dema playing as Usagi. Completely missed this while I was talking about the matchlocks and looking over here. Look at them, they just got right in on these archers and started absolutely destroying them. I think I pointed this out later, but we didn't actually get to see them come in like this. And just like that, like, the entire rear line has been completely just absolutely messed up. And over here, some marathon monks being charged in the trees just because of how much fucking cav T had. He got to place them really specially. Over here, Dema's trying a really sneaky thing. He's bringing Katana Cav and his general around here to try to get into our rear lines. And T didn't quite get his bows out of the way in time, which means Dema got a really good charge in on his bows. The Naginata are moving forward, but the damage is done. Dema got a really good charge in there, because T's micro was understandably stretched. These two katanas still haven't shown themselves, and my Great Guard have returned and are now ready to kind of reinforce wherever they need to go. And they've actually charged into here already. Looks like they already broke a unit, charging into the next line already. Look at that, just sending people flying. Look at the fucking Great Guard go. Supported by the Takeda Fire Cav. Really just allies in arms here, are we not? And another unit routed. And all that's left in front of us now is more of our allies' cav. Look at this balance of power. It's really just going by quickly. Over here, he tried to run away with his general, but it looks like we've caught him up with a mixture of the cav and Naginata Samurai. We caught up the general and his katana cav, but that's not actually enough to hold cav in place.
My lord, a glorious victory will soon be.
Proclaiming victory. Dave's troops haven't even gotten back to us yet. That's how effective our strategy of just teaming up on them while they were separated has been. My Great Guard are over here now even, but everything over here on Dema's side has just routed. That's it. The general and the remaining katana cav and everything has just broken. We completely just duoed him, and it actually worked out pretty well, and now we're refacing everything to get rid of the rest of Dave's units. The rest of my fire rockets now getting sent in. Right on the pikes, arrows coming in. On T's cav, it looks like. Pikes getting into position. Of course, going around the pikes, because why run into pikes when you can go around them? But those arrows are going to get some opportune kills. Here they come. Oh, here comes more of my fire rockets, too. It was hard to find a place to hit them though with those. And here we go, a rear. Oh no, backing out. Too scared. I remember at this point I was telling him, let me know when I should stop firing the fire rockets. And he immediately after he's like, stop firing the fire rockets. And he charges into the rear here against pikemen facing the other way and some archers, running them over with the Takeda Fire Cav of all things. Getting the light cav in on every other side of the enemy. My Great Guard following in rank with the rest of my melee forces and bow warrior monks. These katanas still never leaving the woods, I might add. Who I placed them here to actually protect the generals at the end of the battle. In the middle when Dema showed up. And that's it. One swift stroke of the sword. And me and T claimed a hell of a victory. Actually, it almost caused the end of the night too. When we got back into the voice chat, Dave and Demo were so angry at each other about how they couldn't work together as a team that they were literally both saying, yeah, fuck it, I'm not gonna play with this guy that doesn't do what I say and play with what I'm doing. And I was like, guys, calm down. Oh, that's just how stupidly efficient what we did was. Look at the fire rockets. Just one unit that I brought, hid in the woods so no one would know that I have it, did 280 kills. That's probably the most kills of any unit in the fucking battle. My Great Guard, 235. Naginata in the front, 189. Really got what I paid for on a good chunk of my units. Very happy about that. The great teamwork with T is what led to that fucking victory, without a doubt. Without that teamwork with T, I mean, he was on top of things right when I told him to do it. I didn't really have to micro him. It was a really solidified, set of teamwork, and I'm really... It was good. Anyway. Look at the Oda Longyari Ashigaru. These are the ones that I was probably, suiciding Naginata onto. Poor guys. But they did what they were pretty much wanted to do. Suicide and distract. And he just kind of let that play through. But the rest of his units... Despite pretty much all of his Longyari Ashigaru, I can speak, getting my Naginata charging into them, most of them really didn't get as many kills as you would think that they would. His cav also didn't, his katana didn't. Very low kills in general. And then here comes Tea Master. Oh no, he beat the fire rockets with the Takeda Fire Cav. Let me tell you, these cav were essential to the result of that battle for their quick deployment, teamed up with my Great Guard. It was just a game changer. It just goes to show how much you can accomplish with skirmishing and cavalry, especially if your enemies are separated instead of doing unified tactics like you're doing. his Naginata Samurai, of course, his front line getting kills and losses. Eventually, you know, just getting down here. This poor... I know this one. This is the one that died in the beginning. But look, 60 lost, 60 killed. Did he get what he paid for? Kinda. Maybe. Yeah. And then here comes Dema's. Of course, about the same results as Dave. Because they split up their armies. They didn't work as a team. And they were bickering for most of the fight and after the fight, rather than working on plans together and other things like that. We just, for clarity, both teams had as much prep time as they wanted. Nobody was rushed. And I think they were ready before we were ready. But that's pretty much it. Hell of a battle. It was actually really exciting. Maybe not so much for them, but as a whole, I thought it was pretty exciting. We got one more of these coming up, a siege, and we have some more battles between Dave and T before we move on from this game. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.